Welcome back, everyone. I know it's been, I don't know, something like a couple weeks since I last posted a video, and that's just because life has been fairly busy for me because it's life. I'm 41 years old, and I don't have all the time that I'd like to dedicate towards my hobbies. Even though I do partake in my hobbies on a nearly daily basis, but I'm at work for most of the day, and I only get to see my family for a few hours, and so every now and then I just need to take a break from doing stuff, and then I need to do other things like catch up on cleaning, which is what I have been doing over the past couple days here. Yeah, I know I never really show any video around my lab, and that's because I work in my home office, and yeah, anytime I carry out any experiment that needs a lot of ventilation, I actually remove the screen, which right now it's in place, but I'll remove the screen, open up the garage door, and I'll place stuff right there to completely vent out side, or depending on how many fumes I know that the reaction is going to be creating, I'll go up on my balcony and carry out reactions on my grill, and a lot of times I've got my respirator on, and so I'm not going to make videos if I've got a respirator on because, well, I typically don't narrate my videos, and I don't want you guys to hear me talking like Bane. So anyhow, this is yeah, I figure I might as well move on to like other things here. So anyhow, this is a test tube rack, obviously, and I've got experiments that have been sitting in these test tubes now for about a year, and that's mainly because I'm lazy, but two, I figured, well, I'm so busy doing a lot of other things. This is actually the very first bit of copper chloride I ever made. Don't know if I can get it into focus here. That powder at the bottom is like nearly white. It looks a lot more blue on the video here, at least on my phone. But yeah, it's I always found it interesting that it left this white precipitate at the bottom. So I don't know. I'll test that out one of these days. I'm not sure exactly why it left so much, because I've dissolved that same copper before in other solutions and didn't get really anything as far as the white precipitate. Here is one of the first like blue chromium solutions I made. It's actually the very first. And I've never wanted to take the cap off and expose it to oxygen and have it turn into another oxidation state, and be more of a boring color. Anyhow, yeah, that's probably stupid of me to hang on to. I don't know, I could go over everything that I've got in these test tubes, but I know it's not going to be of interest to anybody other than me. So anyhow, I will be posting videos here soon of making synthetic pyrite. I know that sounds stupid, but I do actually create synthetic pyrite. It's something I've been doing in the meantime while I can't complete my Vernwell furnace to be able to create synthetic ruby, actually grow the ruby bowls and sapphire bowls. Also rutile. I plan on making some of that. But yeah, the fuel source is the big holdup on my Vernwell furnace. So if anybody thinks that I've abandoned that, I haven't. I'm still trying to figure out a way to make the electrolysis method work, and I'll be keeping the oxygen and the hydrogen gases separate and only combining them just before the torch head. So I need to keep myself incredibly busy while I am trying to come up with the viable solution for one problem. So synthetic pyrite has kind of been my my outlet, and it sounds completely, I don't know, almost fictitious that, you know, somebody's, you know, synthesizing pyrite on their own, let alone like an amateur doing it by themselves. But it's actually not that hard. The thing is trying to get the iron disulfide to form in the cubic pyrite structure rather than marcasite. Anyhow, I will be putting together a video on that soon. I carry out the reactions in a hydrothermal autoclave, and I'll go over all the details when I make that video. I felt like I needed to get something out there. I don't know. I've been growing subscribers lately. I don't know if it's because I've left comments on a few different people's videos where they responded, and they're more popular than me. Even though I've been around since like 2006, you know, I've got like, I don't know, close to 270 for subscribers now, which that's pretty awesome. And right now I'm showing you a picture of like my floor because it's like really disgusting looking. Most of the stains in the carpet there are from I had a batch of ferrous sulfate get spilled all over my floor, and yeah, so there's like spots everywhere. I've actually lightened up quite a bit of it, but my carpet still looks like, you know, crap. Although the carpet is like 15 years old, and the previous management of my apartment stated that, yeah, this carpet's going to be ripped out anyhow, and so I stopped caring about how well it looked. And you can probably see there's actually a couple of kind of small little burn marks in the carpet. Yeah, the one right there, and then two beside it, kind of like a eyes and nose, but there's no smiley face. That was actually molten glass and molten aluminum on separate occasions. And as far as burns, that's really the only thing remarkable. Everything else just stains from things that have been spilled. You know, like yeah, I've got all these chemicals up here. I've never ever spilled anything up here, but like I said, that iron sulfide, I'm sorry, the iron sulfate, or iron 2 sulfate, that kind of went everywhere, and it broke my my Buckner funnel. I still have that. It's actually right here. That was my very first. I use the glass fiber filters in that. But I've got 2 replacements, and I've also got a coarse glass filter Buckner funnel. It's, I think it's like 300 milliliters. Eventually I'll go over all my glassware, but right now I'm in the process of cleaning up my lab. And if you've watched my video up to this point, I can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciate that, because I don't know, after about 30 seconds I probably would have gone to somebody else's channel. But anyhow, I wanted to make a little bit of an update, just because I haven't put anything out there in a while. I don't know how YouTube like will rank my videos, like how they come up in searches. I am trying to grow my channel a little bit here. I can only do so much, so I haven't gone to any great extent. But I figured, you know, I might as well shoot some video of, you know, the embarrassing thing that's called my lab. And yeah, there I've got tons of propane canisters and oxygen and MAP fuel. I've got a lot of empty ones outside a frame here. And then up here I just cleaned off the surface. You can see how nice that looks. And I don't know, I guess if you've watched my other videos here, especially the past few, you've probably seen like how carcinogenic my workspace, you know, looked. And so I kind of need to do something about that. Plus fire inspector is going to be coming out here soon to do an inspection on our fire alarm system and everything, and figured I'd try to impress them and make it look like, you know, my place isn't a complete and total fire hazard. So anyhow, if you've watched up to this point, I thank you, and I will be putting something actually fun to watch here soon. Until next time.